Welcome to our Devos. This week we are examining a living hope. I said over the weekend we don't serve a God who died, but we serve a risen King. And just like we celebrate Jesus being alive, our hope has that ability to never die. We have a living hope in Christ. And today I want to talk to you about a special need that we often have with regard to hope. And that need touches all of us at one point or another. And that's simply this. Our living hope means that we grieve, but not without hope. Our living hope means that we grieve, but not without hope. The Bible talks about death, and it talks about different words associated with death. And in the New Testament, one of the terms used connected to death is the sting of death. It's bug season. We're getting into bugs, and there's all sorts of bugs that are now working in overtime trying to destroy your life, right? You have things that are making nests. Well, just right before earlier today, really nice day, I killed my first wasp. And I'm like, this is crazy. It's too early for this. And what is it that we get annoyed with about wasps? It's not just that they're ugly and they're annoying, but it's the sting. You don't want the kids to get stung. You don't want to deal with getting stung. The church always has these monstrous bees that are bumping into you because they're attracted to the wood. And this is why the new church is going to have synthetic wood. It's going to have wood, but the bees aren't going to be attracted to it. But the wood, they just want to eat it. But it's more annoying the fact that you can get stung. And if you get stung, you can't avoid that pain. Well, the idea of the sting of death is something that every single one of us, it bumps up against us, just like those bees. We all deal with death in one way, shape, or form. We're dealing with it with loved ones. We deal with it with people that we know are sick, and there's going to come a day when they're going to leave this world. There's a time when we have to deal with our own mortality, and we have to face this idea of death with a mindset that hopefully honors Christ and isn't fearful. But here's the amazing part. Because of the resurrection and because of our living hope, we don't have to grieve as those without hope. That grieving now can happen, but it happens in a way where hope is where it lands, not just where we speculate, but hope is where it lands. It's not something that we go, maybe one day I'll see them again. No, because of Jesus, because of the resurrection, for those who believe, we can say with certainty that we grieve, but we grieve as those with eternal and living hope. It says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13, Paul says, "We do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others who do not have hope." I never get tired of saying this, but there is a very big difference between going to a funeral for a person who has trusted in Christ versus a funeral for someone who did not know Christ. There's a very big difference between going to a funeral with a family who all have roots in the resurrection and believing in Jesus and who he is, versus a family that they're just hoping to win the cosmic lottery. And that maybe if everything lines up that they'll be able to spend eternity somewhere that's better than here. And they have no hope because everything is based on speculation. It's not based on the assurity of Christ's resurrection, but instead it's based on how they feel. It's based on the moment. And in the moments surrounding death, there's usually very little light. It's darkness. But for a Christian, we have the ability to rise above that. Because of our living hope, we have the ability to say, I am grieving. I do miss that person. I miss and I'm longing for the time when I can see them again. I miss and I'm longing for the time when I can be with them and hug them. But I have hope because my hope is alive, because my hope is rooted in resurrection.